you done now?
Never has there been a more exciting time to be alive. A time of rousing wonder and heroic achievement. As they said in the film Back to the Future, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, they're gonna see some serious shit.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Welcome to Back to the Future, the podcast, the only podcast looking back in time with the greatest film trilogy of all time, Back to the Future. I'm your friend in time, Brad Gilmore, and I am right now in my own version of the DeLorean time machine. I'm in my Ford F-150 driving through the beautiful, beautiful city of Houston, Texas, on my way to ESPN Radio with Booker T. And Booker T's going to come up here again in a minute on today's episode of Back to the Future, the podcast, man. I hope everyone's been enjoying some of the shows with Ian Desher, with J.J. Harrison, both from two different Back to the Future projects that's come out, Back to the Future Race Through Time, and of course, William Shakespeare's Get Thee Back to the Future. It's been fun to talk to some of these guys about these projects. It's just awesome that Back to the Future projects are still coming around in 2019. I really thought that after 2015, which is really the apex of the resurgence of the series, with Back to the Future Day and all that stuff, I thought that after that, these projects would probably be slower, but it just seems that now that we're ramping up to November, when the 30th anniversary of the franchise, or of Back to the Future 2 rather, is coming up on November 22nd, 2019. That's the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future Part 2 in theaters. And then in May of 2020, you're at the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future 3. With all these anniversaries coming up, I just think that's why we're hearing more and more and more about the show. So anyway, about the movie. So anyway, welcome to the show. A couple things that I want to hit on top. If you haven't heard our time capsule that dropped the same time as this episode, go check that out. Need to help calling all pinheads. Again, calling all the pinheads. And then also, I want to say that I'm going to be looking into this documentary I watched last night. I came home, finished the radio shift, came home, and normally I just throw something on, Hulu or Netflix, watch something just to fall asleep to. I'm somebody who has to have the TV on to go to bed. And I was like, man, what's new? Like, what's something I could just watch and, just fall asleep to? And then I saw the documentary that I know is in theaters right now, in select theaters, Framing John DeLorean, was on Amazon Prime. And it was like a $6.99 rental, so like, what you would pay for a movie ticket. And I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. I didn't even know this was out. And I didn't know much about the project. I've seen stuff pop up here in the last couple of weeks with Bob Gale, and he moderated some panel on the documentary Framing John DeLorean. And then I saw Alec Baldwin on Good Morning America, and he was talking about playing John DeLorean in the documentary, and I was unaware that it was a documentary that had recreations of some of the scenes from John DeLorean's life in it. So I was like, oh man, let me watch this. And it's a 2-hour documentary. 15 minutes in, I was feeling real sleepy. It was already past midnight, and I ended up watching the whole thing, man. It was so engaging, so awesome. John DeLorean, I didn't really know much about him. I knew the man's name. I knew that he invented the DeLorean motor car, and he was the founder of the DeLorean Motor Company. I knew he was with General Motors for a long time, but I didn't know much other than he tried to fund the company with a cocaine deal. That's all I remember about John DeLorean. And anyway, the documentary was so fascinating. I'm going to try to see if I can get somebody who worked on the film to come on the podcast, because the movie starts off, and I won't give too many spoilers for all you pinheads who want to go out there and watch it, but the movie starts off with the actual John DeLorean, and I guess it's police archive footage of him taking this lie detector. And I'd never seen a grown man who, John DeLorean, titan of industry, always said, screw you, I'm going to do it my way. Never seen somebody like that. And he was a man of a certain age. I think he was in his 50s, maybe mid-50s, when all this was going down. I never saw a man of his age be so nervous to take a lie detector test. And they were just asking him some baseline questions. It's really fascinating documentary. And like I said, it just makes you really want to go revisit my conversation with Stephen Wynn and even reach back out to him, who's now the owner of the DeLorean Motor Company, and just, find out more about if he had any interactions with John DeLorean. Because John DeLorean passed away, I think, in like the mid-2000s. So he's been around. John DeLorean's been around. At least long enough to know for Stephen to maybe have some interactions with him or something like that. But anyway, also new format to the show coming out that I wanted to talk about. New format to the show. It's going to be coming probably in season 6, which we're closer to than you think. I think I've dragged season 5 out long enough, but we're close to season 6, putting together the finale now, season 5, putting together the finale now. We'll be right back with season 6. Almost instantly, because there's a lot of stuff coming up about Back to the Future and a lot of things that I want to try out on this show, and I'm working on some stuff, man. I'm working on some really cool stuff I can't talk about yet, but some really cool things coming down the pipeline for me and for all you pinheads and fans and listeners of the Back to the Future the podcast show. So here's what I want to do though on this one. I'm heading to same place I was heading from last night. Gonna go do this radio show called the Hall of Fame with WWE Hall of Famer, 2-time Hall of Famer Booker T on ESPN Radio. And the other week, we're a call-in show. Anyone can call in anytime. If you're listening to this when we're on the air, 713-780-3776. It's 713-780-ESPN. We'll take your call. But I was talking to Booker. We were on the air, and then we got this caller in, and it said the Ancient One or something like that from Middle Earth or from Ancient Earth had a question about black holes. So we took this call, and a conversation about time travel movies, and all kinds of things occurred. So I thought this should be a cool little thing to do here on the podcast, is have the legend Booker T make his debut on Back to the Future the podcast. And we're discussing time travel, his favorite time travel movies, and a little bit about Back to the Future. So enjoy this segment from the Hall of Fame on ESPN Radio. Make sure you go check out that time capsule that I put up here as well today. So anyways, here we are with Booker T talking about black holes and time travel.
This is the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
Live from the ESPN 97.5 studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Yeah, man. You know how to chill me up, dog. You know how to make me feel good, man, because I'm going to tell you, I was feeling a little down today, man. Today ain't been the best day in Booker T's life, and I needed something, man, and I'm going to tell you that right there. Put me in that go mode I need to be in when I'm inside the Hall of Fame, because it's all good when we up in this hood. Hey, we got somebody that want to step inside the Hall of Fame. Hey,
I'm a little nervous.
What's that?
I'm a little nervous.
Why is that, man?
Well, because the caller's name is Einstein.
Hey, man, he definitely got something up his sleeve.
Should we let him in the hall?
You got something up your sleeve, don't you? You know what I mean? Go ahead. Let's let him inside the Hall of Fame.
All right, let's see who it is. Einstein, welcome inside the Hall of Fame. From where are you calling, and what's your question?
Yo, I'm calling from Ancient Earth, and I just gotta say, I don't have anything on my sleeves. Like, I'm wearing a T-shirt. I have, no room to keep anything in my sleeves, just saying.
Okay.
And my question is, black holes, right?
Time travel.
They say, the gravity is so strong that pulls in light, and I don't really believe that. I think it's just a wormhole that will take you to another part of the universe, and I was just wondering what you guys' opinion was on that.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Einstein. And what you say it was from?
Ancient Earth.
Ancient Earth. All right. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You believe in aliens?
I think there's intelligent life out there.
You believe in you know what? Extraterrestrial. You believe? You know what? I believe. I believe that we cannot here on Earth, God just couldn't have made just this one planet when we got all the other solar systems out there. You got, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. You got all the other, planets out there. And so I feel like it's gotta be, life somewhere else other than here. And as far as the black holes, out there, in the solar system, I don't know what's out in space, but I remember talking to Buzz Aldrich, and he was talking to me about, the pool, the gravity pool. And I was like, man, that sounds very, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? But anything. I remember as a kid. I remember when I was a kid in Louisiana. I was like 5 years old, and we was out popping firecrackers and bottle rockets, and I remember, and I've told this story many times. All of a sudden, a light so bright, came down. It came down, and it landed over by the high school, and we all went running, and we ran hard, and we ran fast. And we got there, and it was nothing. And we went, wow, what was that? So yes, I do believe the black holes. That's my take on it.
There we are. Okay, we believe in the black holes and extraterrestrials and close encounters of the third kind.
Hey, brother, I was scared. I still remember that to this day, man.
So it was a blinding light?
It was a blinding light. It came down. And, of course, we was popping firecrackers and whatnot. But when the light, the firecracker light goes up, you know what I mean? If it's a starburst, it's going to burst out. But this light came down.
Are we sure that, it didn't, the firework didn't, U-turn? And come down and explode?
No. This thing, it was a light. It came down and it landed behind the trees. And it was almost like, something like we had never seen before in our lives. we were all scared. But one thing, it was like one of those movies, where. All of the white kids, they hear the music, instead of running away from it, we ran towards it, so.
Why they gotta be little white kids?
Because that's normally what's in horror movies.
There are black kids in horror movies.
There's normally one black guy.
You ever heard of Get Out?
No, I haven't heard of that.
You ever heard of Get Out?
No, but I have heard of Friday the 13th. I've heard of Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean?
Get Out. It came out, what was that, Jerry? Get Out. It came out, 3 years ago, maybe?
Some Brothers was in it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was about a white guy, about a black guy and a white girl, right? And they go to, I didn't see the movie, but they go to meet the girl's parents, right? But it's like this... it's like this land where they call it the sunken place, and all the black guys there have been taken over by the white guys, and you got to get out before they kill you.
Well,
something like that.
I've seen a lot of movies. Normally it's one black guy, okay, in the movie,
and he always dies first.
Normally, unless you're Ice Cube.
Ice Cube made it to the end of Anaconda, I think.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
John Voight, he didn't make it out.
Yeah, he was like, man, he couldn't believe he made it to the end. That's what's crazy about it.
Cube goes, it's in my contract that I must make it to the end of this movie.
No, man, that's crazy, man. But that was a crazy question, though, wasn't it?
Black hole, I've always found stuff like that interesting. Do you believe time travel is real? Do you think that we could figure out time travel?
You know what, man? We ain't even figured out the hoverboard yet.
Let's go down the Back to the Future checklist and let's get the hoverboard first.
Let's get the hoverboard right first.
We'll get that first, and then we can move on to the DeLorean.
Yeah, I don't know about time travel. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we've tapped into it yet as human beings. I do believe, in a higher power, as far as time travel go. I mean, I do think when we leave this earth, we go somewhere. I do believe that. I truly believe that. And that is a form of time travel. So yes, I do believe
Yeah. Do you think like deja vu is time travel?
You know what? I said, I've had deja vu before.
Yeah, me too.
I tell the story all the time. When I first got in the wrestling ring, I could have swore I had been there my whole life. It seemed like it was something that I did just yesterday, and it came so easy to me when I did it. And I said, and it feels like deja vu. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah. I just always wonder. What do you think, Jerry? Do you think time travel is real?
I think so. I think so. I don't know how. I always wonder because I can't put anything behind it to justify it, but I do believe it's real. So when people that are on the other side, they look at me like I'm crazy, I just kind of drop it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen your sonic burst?
I don't know. Oh, you're talking about like from a plane, like a jet? Yeah.
Have you ever actually seen
the ripples?
Yeah. And it actually, not the ripple. It's actually a round circle.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The plane actually looked like it goes right through it.
Yeah.
Because it's breaking the sound barrier, breaking the sound of speed. So I do feel like we're close. Because to make something like that happen, to actually be able to break the sound barrier, it lets you know that we are going in the right direction.
Do you have a favorite time travel movie? I mean, for me, it's Back to the Future, but
Back to the Future is cool, but I like the one with Tom Cruise.
The Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
That one was
cool.
good.
Yeah, that was good. That was. I mean, I love that one right there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I think they're making a sequel to that one. I also like Time Cop.
Time Cop was cool.
Time Cop was cool.
Yeah.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. I like that one. The one I liked also that I don't know if Justin Timberlake was in it. Did you see that one? Where the currency is your time. Yeah. You only had so much time
to live.
Exactly.
And like a cup of coffee costs 3 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
That was a really crazy concept. It kind of freaked me out a little bit.
You had to go, but you could steal some time.
You could steal. Well, I think if you kill somebody, then you get their time.
Yeah. So
that would really make you think, though. Like if you were going to go to Starbucks,
I'm killing somebody.
You're going to get a venti caramel macchiato extra hot, and they tell you that's 12 minutes of your life. You know what I mean? It really puts stuff into perspective.
Well, you start just drinking straight, regular with no sugar,
What's that, 30 seconds?
Just black.
Is that 30 seconds?
I'm serious.
And then it make you rethink seeing movies.
Yeah,
I'm not
true.
sitting through Godfather. That's 3 hours. 3 hours of my life, man.
Oh, man, that's crazy, man. Hey, guys, stick around, man. It's just, we got a whole lot more for you, man.
That's the Back to the Future theme.
Yeah, it is. Hey, but that's what this thing's about, man. That's what this thing's about. It's all about, you're trying to believe in something, You got to believe in something, And I believe, I believe. We'll be back in a minute, y'all.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now? Oh, Brad, what have you done